Well, hello, free people of the Rocky Mountain region. This is Brandon from Free State, Colorado, and I hope you're doing well. Colorado once again in the headlines. Bad stuff, folks. Really sad to see it, but unfortunately, this is the reality of our state. We've seen legislation passed this year and signed by our governor, Jared Polis, to turn Colorado into a sanctuary state for these types of procedures and even giving taxpayer money so these procedures can be performed. I mean, you work hard, I work hard. People are working hard every day here in Colorado as taxpayers, and we're forced to fund this stuff. It's outrageous. We need to stand up. We need to speak out. So check this out. Article from Fox News from June 24th, 2025. FBI launches probes into three children's hospitals for alleged genital mutilation of minors. Gosh, so disgusting, so horrific. The FBI has initiated criminal investigations of three children's hospitals after commitments from Attorney General Pam Bondi that the Trump administration would enforce federal statutes outlawing female genital mutilation to protect children from often irreversible sex change surgeries. The investigations target providers who work at Boston Children's Hospital, Hospital Colorado, and Children's Hospital Los Angeles, according to a source familiar with the investigation who spoke to Fox News Digital on the condition of anonymity. These hospitals have been among some of the foremost providers of sex change procedures for minors in America over the last several years, according to the source. Gosh, I hope not. I hope that's not true. I hate to see this happen, especially here in Colorado. Let's scroll down a little bit to where they talk a little bit about more about Colorado here. Children's Hospital Colorado initially suspended its transgender medical treatments for patients under 19 in response to the president's executive order, directing hospitals to halt irreversible transgender treatments for minors. But after a judge's ruling blocking Trump's order, the hospital announced it would resume providing puberty blockers and hormone based treatments to minors. Ugh. In a statement to Fox News Digital, a spokesperson for Children's Hospital Colorado noted that it has never provided transgender surgeries for those under 18. Wow. Adding that 2 years ago, the hospital stopped providing these surgeries for patients over 18. Instead, starting in 2023, the hospital decided to begin referring patients to outside providers for such services, according to Colorado Newsline. Well, if you know much about Colorado politics, you see Colorado Newsline that definitely raises red flags. That is a total left-wing organization. In my personal opinion, they do everything possible to try and help Democrats win elections and really try and influence the electorate to support these left-wing causes. So you see that, you got to really take what they say with a grain of salt, although, there's probably some truth to it, don't get me wrong. But interesting to see Colorado in the spotlight here. Bad news. Let's jump over to one of my favorite X accounts regarding this issue. Colorado has so many great warriors fighting for parents, fighting for children's rights, but you got to follow Hi Kid. Hi Kid at Hi Kid Hey is the handle on X. Awesome account. Does a great job reporting a lot of this stuff, really standing up for kids. So their point was the FBI is investigating Children's Hospital Colorado for violating female genital mutilation laws. Children's claimed the hospital never provided gender mutilation surgery on minors. This contradicts the thorough research of Do No Harm. Is Children's Hospital lying? So if you haven't heard of it, there's a great organization out there, this Do No Harm. Let's jump over to their website, Stop the Harm database. So they really track a lot of this stuff nationwide, really trying to keep track. And one of the ways that they can tell what's going on at these hospitals is through billing codes, right? Everything's through insurance for the most part of these hospitals, and there's codes associated with each of the different procedures that take place, right? Because that's how the insurance companies decide what they're going to pay for. By understanding these insurance billing codes, organizations can really get a better grip on how these procedures are being performed, how often, and where. So check this out here. This is Children's Hospital Colorado, 501c3 in Aurora, Colorado. 120 total sex change patients. That's what they've tracked. This is the total unique children, wow, who underwent gender affirming procedures or hormone puberty blocker therapy. 13 total surgery patients, total unique children who underwent gender affirming surgical procedures, 108 total hormone and puberty blocker patients, total unique children who were prescribed puberty blockers or received gender affirming hormone therapy, 860 total prescriptions written, total number of scripts for puberty blockers or gender affirming hormones, $170,000 and $40 total submitted charges. That's the total amount submitted by providers or pharmacies to insurance for services, treatments, or prescriptions before any reviews or adjustments. Includes medical procedures and prescription charges, but may not reflect the final amount after negotiations. So you can do a deep dive yourself. I'll have the links, of course, at Free State Colorado, stoptheharmdatabase.com. But you can really dig into some of their research and what they found. And it's not pretty, folks. It's really not pretty, especially if these things are happening to kids. Children's Hospital says they don't do it. We'll find out, especially with this FBI, Department of Justice investigation into Children's Hospital. It'll be really interesting to see what the results of that are. If you go to the Children's Hospital's website, on the True Care Center, the True Center, the Trust, Respect, Understand, and Emerge Center. They focus on transgender and gender diverse kids, giving them the care and support that they need. So they do provide, according to the website here, behavioral health services, multidisciplinary care, puberty delaying treatments. I mean, hard to believe any kid should be able to make those decisions that they can delay puberty on themselves. Hormone therapy, referral to support groups, and additional referrals. So additional referrals, that you got to think that's probably where the surgeries are these days, but we'll find out. Wow. A couple articles here from CPR News earlier in the year to provide some additional context and see some familiar faces. So, CPR from February 14th, 2025, protest outside Children's Hospital, Colorado after sudden suspension of gender affirming care. So, this was Trump's initial executive order, month into being in the White House, saying, hey, you got to stop doing this to kids. There you can see it there. About 24 people gathered for what they called an emergency rally at Children's Hospital, Colorado on Thursday. And if you are involved in Colorado politics or down at the Capitol, there's this person named Z. Williams, who's a professional activist, co-director of Bread and Roses Legal Center, and just seemingly at the center of all these different things and at the Capitol rallying people. Somebody to keep an eye on, somebody that also raises a lot of red flags. So you can read through this if you want, but of course, the initial ruling from the president, his initial executive order causing this to all stop, was overturned by a judge just a few days later. Here we are on February 20th, 2025, also from CPR News. Some Colorado hospitals are set to resume some gender affirming care for youth after challenge to Trump order. And of course, you could see who's one of the people that was challenging Trump's order, who wants to keep forcing these surgeries and medications and hormones on children. Well, none other than Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser and gubernatorial candidate. I mean, this guy is directly leading to the harm of children. Bad news, folks. Let's look at this article just briefly. Some Colorado hospitals are lifting a pause and will again provide gender affirming care to youth. That's at least for the moment, as the legal fight over the issue plays out in federal courts. Earlier this month, both Denver Health and Children's Hospital Colorado said they were altering their policies, ending gender affirming care to comply with a new executive order from President Donald Trump. The order, signed in late January by President Donald Trump, ordered hospitals that get federal dollars to stop offering gender affirming medical treatments for children and teenagers under the age of 19. The order stated the United States, quote, will not fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support the so-called transition of a child from one sex to another, end quote. It also said providers that offer gender-affirming medications or surgeries to those seeking such care could face the loss of federal funding. The moves by the hospitals came after Colorado officials joined others in challenging the decision in a pair of court cases that resulted in a temporary block on the executive order. On Wednesday, Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser joined 3 other states, Minnesota, Oregon, and Washington, in a lawsuit to invalidate the presidential order, which Weiser said would, besides jeopardizing federal funding to medical institutions, quote, criminalize medical professionals that provide gender affirming care, end quote, according to a press release. Wow. Weiser's legal action and the subsequent ruling blocking the order prompted the hospitals to restart the care, both indicated. So there you go. You got the Attorney General leading the fight against Trump to cause more harm to these kids, to have these kids have their life-changing surgeries or hormones or really bad things happen to them. And now we have the FBI investigating Children's Hospital, Colorado. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens and what comes out of this. Just a little bit more here. In an emailed statement, Children's Hospital Colorado said it will plan to resume gender affirming medical care, including puberty blocking and hormone based care on February 24th, after a court extends the temporary restraining order, which has already been issued in the Washington case to Colorado. Children's Hospital Colorado said it has never provided gender affirming surgical care for patients under the age of 18. So there we go. We'll find out the truth maybe one day, but there you go. So next time, folks, we'll talk to you then. Take care.